Ayurveda is the study of bringing life, bringing more life to you. We call that energy prana. And we've talked about prana in your food. Prana is breath, it's the energy of life. Sitting in silence or meditation, how does that work with prana? Our mind is an active, controlling entity in our life. And we need that for some things, but we don't need it for everything. And to bring life in, that movement of energy, sometimes we have to be able to let our mind just chill out and start to just bring energy. And that's what sitting in silence can help you do, is just absorb and receive energy. Release things that are limiting your energy, stopping the flow, and bring life force, life energy into you. Calming the mind isn't always easy. We have breathing that we're going to do with this, silence, listening. I'm going to give you a couple different ways as we go through this to do this, to process things. Life, as it is on this earth, brings up a lot of things that start to limit the flow. We live in a world that is ruled by death, yet there's a great deal of life in it as well. The universe is life positive. God is all about bringing life, bringing energy and vitality to us. So using this sitting in silence, these meditation techniques as ways to get past those stoppages of flow of life is a really powerful tool in your toolkit. You may have heard many of the old spiritual people say that when they got really busy and time was, that's when they had to sit and pray more than any other time. And that's the truth. Because when you are running and going and life is pressing on you and there's challenges, those things stop the flow of energy, stop the flow of life. Those old spiritual people knew that when that's happening, that's when you need to balance that going energy with stopping energy. All the things in order to get past those dams of life, the flow stoppers, you need to spend more time with the source of life, more time receiving life, just breathing and being. There was a great deal of wisdom in that. So these are practices to help you do that. Leaning in deeper, making good use of that time. It's not just giving God more words. That's not sitting in silence. Words are your mind. And your mind going and getting caught up in itself, getting caught up in examining what is stopping the flow of life and the challenges. These are about quieting the mind so you can get to a deeper place. And you can get to a thing that goes around those flows, that works through them, that breaks them up, that helps you move to a deeper and better place where there is real and true life. So this doesn't involve words particularly, because that's your mind. We're going to go quiet your mind and get to those other two brains where life really happens, your heart and your gut. And this one particularly will be your heart. This first technique, meditation, if you will, is empty bowl. It has to do with breath holds, which are very powerful, very powerful. So sit comfortably, quietly, with your palms open, up, placed on your knees, like empty bowls ready to receive. Open your mouth slightly, touch the tongue to the roof of the mouth, right behind your front teeth. Begin by paying attention to your breath. Let your lungs breathe with no effort on your part. Simply watch the movement of your breath. Inhale, exhale. During the inhalation, air touches the inside of your nostrils. Be aware of that breath. During exhalation, again, air touches your nostrils. The ingoing air feels cool. The outgoing air is warm. For a fraction of a second, enter into your nose. Sit in the nostril. Watch your breath ingoing, outgoing. Ingoing, outgoing. Let your lungs just do their job. You are simply sitting and watching. After a few minutes, 5 minutes maybe, follow the breath. When your lungs inhale, go with the air into your nose, to the back of your throat, trachea, lungs, heart, diaphragm. Go deep down behind your belly button where you will experience a natural stop. For a fraction of a second, the breath stops. Stay in that stop. Then when the lungs exhale, again follow the breath as it reverses its course. Come up from the belly button to the diaphragm, heart, lungs, trachea, and throat, back to the nose, then out of the body. During exhalation, the air goes out of the body to about 9 inches in front of the nose, where there's a second stop. Again, stay in that stop for just a moment. These 2 stops are very important. The first stop is behind the belly button, the second outside the body in space. As your awareness rests in these 2 stops, time stops. Because time is the movement of breath. When breath stops, mind stops. Because mind is the movement of breath. When the mind becomes quiet, you simply exist. Without body, without mind, without breath. In that stop, you become like an empty bowl. And when you become an empty bowl, divine lips will touch you. God will come to you to pour out his love. You don't need to seek God, for God is seeking you. From ages past, God is seeking an empty bowl to fill with his love. But all bowls are full of desire, ambition, business, competition, success, and failure. Just sit quietly and stay in the stop. That stop is a door. Simply enter the door and jump into the inner abyss. You will feel an extraordinary tranquility and peace surrounding you. Practice this meditation. You do it for just a few minutes. up to 15 minutes, especially at the morning and the evening times. Over the days, weeks, and months, you'll find that your time in the stops naturally increases until eventually inner and outer will merge and everything will happen within you. The next one is Soham meditation. In Soham meditation, we sit quietly and watch our breath, as in the empty bowl meditation, but we add the sound so on inhalation, hum on exhalation, only silently. We don't speak the words aloud. When sound, breath, and awareness come together, it becomes light. We have seen that every atom radiates light and heat energy, which is a quantum wave. The moment we pay attention to our breath and start feeling so hum along with the breath, our breath becomes a quantum wave and radiates light. You may see that light of life at your third eye. Inspiration, breathing in, is living. Expiration, breathing out, is dying. When a child is born, with its first breath, expresses itself with inspiration. When someone dies, we say he has expired. The breath has gone out. Hum means I or individual, ego. So means he, the divine. So in the natural course of So Hum meditation, when So goes in, life energy comes in. And Hum, ego, our limited individuality, our self, goes out. That's the significance of So Hum meditation. When you inhale, So, you are inhaling life, bringing God in. When you exhale, Hum, you are exhaling your ego. So Hum meditation, properly practiced, leads to the union of you with God, the universe, your creator. You will go beyond thought, time, and space. Our natural limitations vanish. You will become part of peace and joy that will descend on you as a benediction. God in, hum self. This one is called witnessing. Various different ways, various variations to deal with difficult situations, relationships, people, challenges that the mind can't quite figure out, deal with, over difficult issues. Things that otherwise stop that flow of energy, and you just can't do anything about it in some cases. But it's a way to lay it out before God, set your ego aside on it, so it's not you having to solve the problem anymore, and move beyond. In Vedic science, witnessing is called Samyag Darshan. This is a process of looking outward and inward simultaneously. When we look at a tree, a star, a mountain, a flower, something goes out from our eyes, touches the object, and comes back to us. That which goes out of our eyes in order to touch the object of perception, we call attention. Ayurveda says that attention happens when prana or energy goes out and carries the vibration of awareness toward the object. So you have energy that's leaving your eyes and going toward the object. Thus, attention is awareness plus prana or energy or movement. One arrow goes out and touches the object. At the same time, a second arrow of attention should go inside toward the center of our heart to observe the observer. At the time of looking, when you look at the object outside, at the same time, look at the looker, watch the watcher, observe the observer. When that happens, what happens when the watcher is watched is that the watcher disappears. This simple watching without a watcher is called witnessing. In that witnessing, you develop intimacy, relationship with the object of your perception. The way that I have done this, that may make sense as well, is to imagine, to put that attention like a radar onto the objects of my challenge or my question or the difficulty, whether it's a work or job situation, the people involved in it, relationships, children, spouse, whatever it may be. It can even be world situations. Set that in front of you and you're sending your attention out to it, that energy. I imagine, for me, God sitting across from it, and we're sitting here together just paying attention. And as you're sitting there, breathing, with your hands open to both give them over and to receive whatever comes to you about those situations or people, relationships, whatever it is. You can open your heart and just let it feel, let it flow. No words. Let your heart do the communicating and just sit there with it, giving that your attention externally and then internally to your heart. And just sit there and breathe and let your attention just rest between your heart to the inside and whatever you're imagining and giving your attention to on the outside. And just sit with it, with God. And notice what comes up. Let your heart do the talking instead of your mind. And let it be. And just become a witness, giving over and receiving anything that comes back to you. Just be a witness. Your attention outside and then inside to your heart.